Greetings. I wish to continue where we left off in terms of the use of the oracle and how it can benefit you in your everyday life. The oracle, in its inception, some 5,000 so many years ago, was basically used by the priests and priestesses of that time. Priestesses, that's funny. But anyway, for the majority of the people involved with utilizing the I Ching, I would say that most of them were males and that they participated in an organization or community of people who were designated to utilize the oracle system. They were counselors to the officials of the time, and they were delegated to determine certain historical events that were happening, to discuss with the leaders of the time what they could expect in terms of different things that were happening in that time in history. So when you look at the traditional or the classical expressions, you will see classical images. You know, the emperor, the king, the prince, and various different other imagery is used to describe what was going on at the time. And the people, the average people, the masses per se, were not necessarily privy to the oracle. Now, since that time, much of the oracle has been revealed. The I Ching oracle has been revealed to the masses, to the point where nowadays you can go to a bookstore or library, you can order it online and get a book and to give you some information about the I Ching, and also to get a book that will tell you how to utilize the I Ching. Before then, 5,000 years ago, I don't know if they had an internet. I doubt it. But nevertheless, it has become something of a tool that can be used by the common man. There's some stories or some historical writings that express that the I Ching is a derivative of the traditional oracle system of Ifa that was developed in Nigeria, West Africa. Be that as it may, this video is not about the history of the I Ching, but is more about discussing how you can learn from it, how you can utilize it, how you can make it work for you in your everyday life. And that is, to me, the most prominent and most important aspects of the use and perspective of the I Ching. Because it is designed in a way nowadays that anybody can use it, there are various different ways and expressions that people utilize. The yarrow stick was the initial use for divining the I Ching, but now people use 3 coins. Some people use 3 Chinese coins, some people use 3 regular coins. Long as there are 3 of the same with the top and a bottom, that way you can determine yin and yang. Some people have different variations on what yin and yang are. Some would say the head of the coin equals the yin, and some will say that's yang. Some will say vice versa. In my experience, I had a student who thought that he had inverted the variations or inverted the reading by giving the head a tail and then and the back of the coin, I'm sorry, giving the head the yang and the back of the coin the yin. And so when he heard someone mention to him that that was incorrect, he immediately went back through all of his 30 some odd questions and re-asked them. In re-asking them, he ultimately got the same answers. Pretty much the same story was told to him that was told to him before. There's a spiritual nature to the I Ching, and it understands, one, that you're a novice. It understands if you have been working with it for a while, and it understands if you are very strong in the readings and understanding the images and the judgments and the lines. And so it responds to you based on where you are. And so in his desire to find answers for himself, he went back into the reading and did them all over again, which was really not necessary. But he didn't understand. And when he came out of it, he realized that not only had he got an opportunity to see how the I Ching works, but he also got an opportunity to create his own personal relationship with the I Ching. And that is the most important, that you develop your personal relationship with the I Ching. Now, how do you develop a personal relationship with the I Ching? It's done by a consistent pattern of consulting it. Like any friend, if you never call them, then your relationship with that friend, if you never go see him, if you never spend time with them, then it's a limited relationship. However, if you encounter them many, many times, if you talk to them all day or once a week or very, very often, then the relationship with that friend develops and grows. And that is what happens with the I Ching if you utilize it often. Now, there are definitely folks who will go to an extreme and use it all the time and ask any questions, all the way down to the very, very tiny little situations in their lives. What I say about that is that it can be useful when you use it like that. Even though it may be repetitive, it gives you an idea of how the I Ching works. And once you get used to that, you will actually find yourself consulting less and less and less. But initially, because it is so amazing how it works, people get excited and want to use it over and 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 over. And since there's no one there to tell you stop, you may find yourself becoming obsessed with using it. Now, in that vein, when you reach to the point of obsession, the oracle will begin to speak to you about your obsession. And it will begin to express to you how important it is for you to be mindful, that the ancestors are there to answer your questions, but you must come to them in such a way where you are creating and developing your character and your spirituality and all that. And sometimes certain questions are frivolous and do not necessarily require a consultation with the I Ching. So therefore, I would like to say, in closing or moving through toward the end of this video, that the oracle should be consulted in important situations. However, at the beginning of your use of the oracle, you may find yourself consulting on various different situations that may not appear to be quite as important. However, they're important to you at that time. I do not believe in throwing out the baby with the bathwater. There's a reason why some people may feel inclined to use it more often than other people may feel inclined to use it, whether they're new at it or whether they are old timers with it. So it varies from individual to individual. I find that the I Ching functions as a pocket counselor. It gives you advice along the way. It can be utilized, it can be brought out to consult at any time, and therefore it can give you guidance at any time in any situation, as long as you are able to create the environment around you that is a peaceful environment, a calm environment where you're not distracted. You can create this environment, and then you can go for it. Like places like the public bathroom, sitting on the train track, sitting at the depot waiting for a train, sitting at the bus stop. You may want to wait until you get to a place where you can concentrate and actually do it. Also, there are some people who may have individuals in their lives who consider this oracleizing, this divination, demonic or of some other sort, and they may feel in some way about you divining, and this needs to be clarified. If you choose to get into the divination process, it needs to be clear in your environment that that's a place where you can do it. If not, you may need to determine a place where you can do it. I've seen couples start off together, throwing the coins together, coming up with ideas and answers together. But once that personal relationship clicks in, I've seen them go to their separate quarters. I've seen them decide that maybe I want to ask some personal questions that are just about me and not necessarily conducive to sharing this with you. I need to know some things about me, how I'm dealing with my life, and I may not necessarily want to discuss that with you. A lot of times when people in a group come to the oracle, it may specifically address one individual in that group, and it may not necessarily address the entire group per se, but it does give information for the entire group. So the oracle, as it being yin and yang and dealing with the polarities, it does it and it doesn't. It does and it doesn't. It does and it doesn't. Every hexagram has an inverse, and every inverse has the opposite of that. So even in reading the readings in the oracle readings that you get, you're going to still find yourself moving in and out and developing in a different way just how the oracle is working for you and determining that for yourself. Okay, so this is lesson 2, and we will be moving on from here. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings.